Imagine meeting someone who seems determined to test your patience every single day. Someone who criticizes everything you do. Someone who provokes you, manipulates you, judges you, and somehow turns even the simplest moment into an emotional battle. Now imagine discovering that Marcus Aurelius had one rule so powerful that it helped him deal not with one difficult person, but with thousands. After all, he was the most powerful man in the world. Yet, he was surrounded by traitors, jealous rivals, opportunists, and people who could never be satisfied. What did he understand that most of us still don't? But to understand that, we need to go back to ancient Rome. The sun had barely risen above the horizon. The smell of burning oil drifted through the palace corridors. Cold morning air moved between towering marble columns. The sound of soldiers' footsteps echoed through the halls. Messengers rushed in every direction carrying news from distant provinces. And somewhere inside that enormous palace stood Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, ruler of millions, but also a man surrounded by conflict. Every day, he listened to complaints, criticism, accusations, impossible demands, political schemes, people trying to manipulate him for personal gain, people who hated him without knowing him, people who would never be satisfied no matter what he did. And yet, he rarely lost control. Before we continue, I want to know something. What city are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. Most people believe the greatest danger of a difficult person is what they do. But Marcus Aurelius discovered something different. The real danger isn't the person. It's the reaction they create inside you. Think about it. One criticism can ruin your entire day. One insult can occupy your thoughts for hours. One hateful comment can steal your peace for weeks. But this is only the beginning. Few people know this detail. Every morning, before starting his day, Marcus Aurelius practiced a mental exercise. He reminded himself that he would encounter people who were selfish, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, and difficult. At first, it sounds pessimistic, but it was actually the opposite, because when those people appeared, he wasn't surprised, he was prepared. And this is where everything changed. Most of us expect people to behave according to our standards. We expect kindness, respect, understanding, fairness. But reality rarely follows our expectations. And the greater the expectation, the greater the disappointment. But there was an even bigger problem. Difficult people have an almost supernatural ability. They can turn you into the very thing you dislike most. They make calm people angry. Kind people become aggressive. Smart people become impulsive. And what happened next was even more shocking. Marcus Aurelius realized that every time he reacted emotionally, he gave away his power. The difficult person stopped controlling only their own life. They started controlling his as well. Imagine handing the steering wheel of your car to someone you don't even like. It sounds absurd, but that's exactly what happens when you allow someone else to control your emotions. The worst part was still to come, because most people spend their entire lives trying to change people who don't want to change, trying to convince people who don't want to listen, trying to please people who will never be satisfied. And this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. Marcus Aurelius's rule for difficult people was surprisingly simple. Accept that they exist. Accept that some people act out of ignorance. Others act out of fear. Others act out of jealousy. And some simply don't know any other way to behave. That doesn't mean agreeing with them. It doesn't mean tolerating abuse. It doesn't mean being weak. It means something far more powerful, refusing to let them govern your mind. Have you ever heard this idea before? Answer yes or no in the comments. Nobody was prepared for what happened next. Once Marcus Aurelius adopted this rule, he began seeing difficult people differently. He stopped seeing them as enemies and started seeing them as tests. Tests of patience, tests of discipline, tests of self-control. Because anyone can stay calm when life is easy, but only a strong mind can remain balanced when provoked. And that's why his teachings survived for nearly 2,000 years. Not because he mastered other people, but because he mastered himself. In your opinion, what was the most surprising part of this story? Perhaps the greatest lesson? Marcus Aurelius left behind is that difficult people will never disappear. There will always be criticism, conflict, provocation, unfairness, disappointment. But your peace should never depend on them. Because in the end, true freedom isn't controlling other people's behavior. It's refusing to let their behavior control you. If you enjoy lessons on Stoicism, psychology, human behavior, and mental strength, subscribe now. Every week, Hidden Mentality uncovers ancient wisdom and timeless psychological truths that help you build a stronger, calmer, and more unshakable mind.